Boys. Boys. What if I think intimacy is scary? Oh, bro, I got some bad news for you. And some good news, because I'm sure you can reject the shit out of her. Let's go. John always thought of himself as a stable person. Stability worked out well when he was just trying not to let the little things get him down. It wasn't so great when everything was crumbling around him. When the entire world started seeming gray and flat. Crimson gray, I get it. Because there's gonna be blood. Then he began wondering if all the stability would kill him, and if he would care when it did. Is he depressed? There weren't any highs or lows anymore. Whatever happened to him, John didn't feel happy or sad. He just... Hey, what are you doing spacing out, man? You're a real head case these days, John. You gonna float away on us? Sorry, just distracted. A moment later, he started drifting away again. Even his friends' voices were nothing but buzzing in his ears. Meaningless sounds echoing in a hollow shell. They weren't even really his friends. They were friends with the happy-go-lucky person he'd been at the beginning of high school. These days, they joked about him being no fun, but it was more than a joke. They'd get tired of him, find someone else, and then he'd be alone. He wasn't sure whether or not that would be worse. Bro. Guy needs a chill pill or something, dude. Whoa, is that creepy chick staring at us? I think she is. Who is that anyways? Lizzy Doss, I think, in our year, right? John, doesn't she have math with you or something? It took John a second to even register the question. They were staring at some girl. It almost looks like it says some e-girl, but it doesn't. Some girl who was staring back at them. She looked the same as all the other girls at their school. Shyer, maybe. Oh, I get like that Whitney from Full Metal Alchemist vibe. Like that's all I see right now when I'm looking at the screen. Shyer, maybe. She could probably hear them talking about her. He wanted to say something, but kept silent. Damn, she really is staring. She's staring at us or John? I think it's him. You think she's a stalker? Okay, her name box is red. That means she's the stalker. Yeah, those are some crazy eyes. You'd better watch out, John. You're a real sad sack these days, but you could do better than her. Shut up. Those words were past his lips before he could stop them. Why did he even have to open his mouth now, of all times? But he couldn't let them keep talking about her like that. You don't even know her. People call him creepy or crazy all the time, and he hated it. Oh. So he's just like, don't call her crazy because I don't like being called crazy. But after those two words, he just stood there like an idiot. Even when something mattered to him, he couldn't pull himself together. What's wrong with you, man? Don't say things like that about people you don't know. She's just hanging out up here like we are. No. She's giving us some serious crazy eyes, Yandere eyes. Just leave her alone, okay? She hasn't done anything to you. Sheesh. Okay, man. You think she's gonna fall in love with you, as her handsome protector or something? That'd be just like John. You wanna talk to the crazy girl, be our guest. We're heading back to class. Don't wait up, man. His friends are kinda assholes. The way her eyes moved, John thought that she was focused on him so intensely that she might not have even heard what the others said. Probably. Did it even bother her? He wished he could be like that, but instead the smallest things sent him crashing into a state of worthlessness. So, okay. Can't handle criticism is a check, but maybe she was like him, just capable of hiding it. John cleared his throat and walked up to check on her. Wheeze! Sorry about them. They can be assholes sometimes, though she looks shocked now. She looks shocked. Well, I guess I don't have a lot to say. Sorry if we bothered you. John slunk away and cursed his own idiocy. He had been fine without him. He just made everything worse. No, I don't think you did. I think she's just crazy. There had been something hard in her eyes. My dick. A strength he didn't have. He had probably been projecting all his weaknesses onto her in the first place. She wasn't like him, wasn't broken. He could shrug off the things his friends had said and get on with her life. At least that meant she could shrug off his annoyance too. He'd probably just forget all about him. No, she's not gonna forget. Color! Thank you. Oh. Ah! You're so kind, such a nice person. The kindest person. The only person. Oh god, she's already crazy. Bro, why can't they just become crazy later? Why do they have to just be crazy right away? Just push these hoes out of here, dude. I found you. I finally found you. I found you. I found you. Found you. What the hell, dude? Come on, man. Title drop. The teacher's voice was incomprehensible, but John knew he must be picking it up on some level. He wasn't sure how, but even though he stumbled through every day, he was doing okay in school. It seemed normal whenever he wanted, it just didn't feel worth it. Says she's in love on the first date? Bro, the first sentence, what are you talking about? Stay single, boys. That was almost the worst part. He seemed normal, even though nothing was normal anymore. It wouldn't ever be normal again. What did Miss Smith say? High-functioning depression? Such an awful, empty phrase. Miss Smith must be like a psychiatrist or something. At least class was over now. He could go home, sleepwalk through his assignment, and then fall unconscious. That is one way to say go to bed, at least for a few hours if he could. And he became aware of her. She was watching him. Maybe she wanted to thank him? No, he was just being stupid. He'd done nothing worth thanking. More likely she wanted something from him, or most likely of all, maybe she didn't care about him and he was just imagining the whole thing. He was still staring though. Do we do the dickhead route first? Or do we do the nice route first? Glare at her. Stare back with intensity. To his surprise, she didn't seem to respond at all, just stared. Maybe stared through him. Maybe he was imagining the whole thing. He needed to get to his appointment anyways. He didn't want Miss Smith getting mad at him again. Miss Smith was one of the only people John could focus on. He wasn't sure how much good she actually did him aside from prescribing medicine, but at least she tried to help. Ooba. John! You're not looking so bad today. Did something good happen? Yeah, I had a staring contest with some bitch. A boy your age ought to be more interested in girls. Are you dating someone? Stay single, boys. Stay single, boys. No, I can't focus on people. Maybe I could prescribe you something for that. We don't have any on hand now, but I could get it quickly. That's the advantage of having Koi Tech in town. I don't want to take this medicine anymore. I don't think it's working. Paxitine? But that's the first one you've really responded to. I feel worse. Everything is so gray. Voices just echo. Can't I go back to a generic medicine? John, you need to understand that you're deeply clinically depressed. My professional opinion that you should be under no conditions go off your medicine. But if you're depressed enough, you don't think anything helps, and then you convince yourself that it doesn't help to the point where it actually doesn't help because of the whole mind over matter thing, and then you just down spiral, like woo. When you're getting used to a medication, there can be some initial side effects. Sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better, okay? All he heard was that he was too broken for any drug to fix. He was so worthless, even the newest drug from Koi Tech didn't do anything. I'll renew your Paxitine prescription, and see about getting you a complimentary drug. Bro, complimentary drugs? Let's go. We'll figure this out yet, John. Now, why don't you lie down over there and we can begin our session? Good. Get comfortable. Did anything special happen during the day today? No. There was a crazy girl staring at me, but beyond that, it was pretty normal. Yeah, I like how he just glosses over the fact that they had someone following him through school, staring a hole through his fucking soul. The therapy session quickly ended away into meaningless buzz. For a short time at least, he didn't feel the emptiness. Finally, or too soon, it was over. Miss Smith told him that he was doing well and sent him on his way, even though he's not doing well at all. John slumped back home. The day was empty, like it always was. Ever since Mother left, his father spent all his time working. He did his homework, he ate, he cleaned the dishes, he sat down in front of the TV and stared at it without turning it on. Somehow he dragged himself into bed and fell asleep. The routine used to be comforting, but now it was starting to erode his sanity. His mind had to crack eventually. Maybe it was already happening. For a second, he thought he saw a girl out the window. It was the blonde bitch! But no, there was nothing. Of course there wasn't. He really was losing it. The pharmacist girl is not the crazy one. The blonde one is the crazy one. Another day. He had to face it somehow. It seemed impossible until the moment he finally stumbled into class. School was the usual mindless buzz. There was a job fair announced in third period, as if that meant anything at all. Almost everyone in their school would either go to work for Koitek, move away, or stay in town and become unemployed, like me. John wondered which one of those would happen to him, but from a distance, as if he was thinking about some person he barely knew. His grades were good enough to get into Koitek, but the process was so competitive. Oh, he didn't have enough energy for that. He couldn't imagine moving away, looking for a job in a strange city. Most mornings, the most he could imagine was surviving the day. I mean, maybe leaving would be good for you then. But his father wouldn't support him, and his mother didn't want him. Once he graduated, there'd be no way he could stay with either of them. What happened to him then? Would he just become homeless? Sit there on the street begging for change until one night he froze to death? With that attitude, yeah. Maybe that's what he deserved. With that attitude, yeah. John, are you alright? Huh? Sorry, sir. I'm paying attention, honestly. I didn't ask that. I asked if you were alright. I'm fine. You know what they say when a girl says that they're fine. Well, be sure to talk to the counselor if you're feeling bad, alright? We're lucky to have someone like Miss Smith with us. I will. He had to keep it together. He remembered the lessons, but if people were starting to think something was wrong, his control was slipping. The music goes from like really subtle to like really intense to really subtle to really intense, like really fast. He had enough time to visit his locker in between periods. There was more Paxatine there. He still had an extra dose left for the day. You should give it to the blonde girl. His locker was on the bottom row, so he always had to bend down, and there was a piece of paper sitting in the middle of his locker. Cheer up! Exclamation point. That was all it said. Nothing on the backside. No other clues. Probably a girl's handwriting. Who left it? The girl that's been staring at you, obviously. Come on, bro. Hey, did you see anyone messing with my locker? Huh? Did something get stolen? There's way too many guys around here for me to notice. Might have been a girl leaving a note. Like a love note? Keep dreaming, John. You thinking a girl is gonna love your sorry ass? Wow! No, of course not. No one could ever love him. Bro, he's gonna take that little, like, banter, like, negative banter, and he's just gonna roll with it for the rest of his life now. He's gonna be like, fuck that, everybody hates me. So you didn't see anyone? Okay, thanks. Hey, John. You gonna tell me she's a Canadian? my girlfriend from another high school. I'm heading back to class. See you later. She's really hot, right? Your imaginary girlfriend sounds amazing. What a dickhead, dude. Fuck off. John knew he should probably just take some more Paxatine and head to class, yet he was still holding onto the paper. He wasn't sure why. It really could be a prank. One of those guys trying to trick him. If so, it would probably be followed by another fake note asking him to come out of that stupid confession tree, where they'd let him wait and then laugh at him. But just for a moment, he saw the girl watching him. Could it have been her? Yes, it was Whitney from Full Metal Alchemist. By the time he got to class, John had a theory. She felt sorry for him. He must have looked pretty pathetic, and she recognized his misguided good intentions enough to pity him. The rest of the school day passed in more of a blur than usual. He might be delusional, but part of John still hoped it wasn't a prank. He headed to his locker, not daring to imagine anything, and there was another paper waiting there for him. They shouldn't say those things about you. Ooh. Oh shit. My thoughts exactly, dude. Uh-oh. Oh, that handwriting is a little more rough, too. It didn't even look like the same person's handwriting. The first had been beautiful calligraphy. This one was a hurried scrawl. If it was all a prank, he no longer had any idea where they were going with this. He'd already been beating himself up over saying the wrong thing. So this was too much for John. He headed straight home to get some sleep before he cracked completely. No red flags here, keep on. No, there are no red flags. It was just a yellow sticky note. The next day, John went as early as possible and approached his locker anxiously. He wasn't sure what he wanted to find. There was no note this time, but there was a chocolate heart wrapped in foil. The foil's made out of people. Set in the exact center of the bottom of his locker. John stared at it for a while, then slipped it into his pocket and headed to class, even though he knew he would be far too early. There was no way he could eat it. If it was really a prank, they might have slipped laxative or something inside of it. That was the kind of thing his friends thought was funny. But if it was that girl... Bro, I wouldn't eat it. If someone put some random food in my locker, I would never fucking touch that shit, dude. Never, ever. Didn't matter now. What mattered was that someone clearly knew his locker combination and could get in whenever they wanted. That could be the real problem. Change your locker combination. He knew he should come up with a solution before tomorrow, but what? Change your locker combination. Replace? Be rational? Uh-oh. I don't know, telling Mrs. Smith is kind of rational too. No option to go on a date? I'm sure that'll come later. Alright, let's tell Mrs. Smith. John found Mrs. Smith in her office and she gave him a friendly smile. Everything okay, John? I think someone's getting into my locker. They're leaving things in it. Kind of things. Just little notes. They're making me nervous. Do you have one of the notes? Yeah, right. But patting his pockets, he discovered that he must have left them back at his desk. Of course he would screw even that up. John, are you feeling well? Bro, is she gonna call him crazy? Is she gonna be like, oh, you're making that up? You think I'm crazy, don't you? You're under a lot of stress lately. Please make sure you keep taking your medication. No, look, I'm serious. I don't have anything now, but there really have been things in my locker. I didn't say that I disbelieve you, I just implied it. But we need more evidence to take any action. You can always talk to me about it, okay? She literally is calling me a liar. Especially if you get any kind of threat. My door is always open. I think the note about they shouldn't have said those things to you is enough of a threat. Now, would you like a quick therapy session? You look like you need it. John reluctantly agreed to lay down onto the couch. He soon relaxed, and by the time he headed back to class with a note, he felt much less depressed. Miss Smith was probably right. The teachers couldn't help him with this. John left school at a brisk walk, finished his homework quickly, and fell into bed. The world was still gray, but perhaps not as dark as it had been before. Did you not show the candy? That's what I was thinking. Like, why didn't he just be like, here, look, someone... Then again, if he was like, look, someone gave me chocolate, she'd just be like, oh, a girl likes you, and wouldn't think anything of it. But... I think I'd rather be called crazy than have my, like, problem thrown under the bus. When he woke up the next day, he felt even better. Things would be fine so long as he kept everything in perspective. Maybe. Making an effort to set the mystery of the locker aside, John went with his friends to the rooftop for lunch. They spread out on the side, enjoying the sight of the trees below. Midway through the meaningless conversation, John noticed that Lizzy was watching him from the far side of the roof. Her gaze was even more intense than before, so he uncomfortably tried to ignore her and focus on the conversation. Looks like the confession tree is in full bloom, huh? You really believe those stories of, like, true love and all that? It works, man. I've got a buddy who just graduated. He swears he got so much pussy confessing under it. Stay single, boys. Stay single. Well, if he kept doing it, it's not true love, is it? Come on, people have been confessing there for years. You seriously think everyone who would confess under the tree if it did nothing? Yes, I really genuinely do believe they would keep doing it, even if it didn't get them anything. Nah, man, I think it's a tree of lust. It doesn't guarantee true love, just getting laid. If that was true, way more guys would be into it, but it's mostly girls from what I've seen. Well, yeah, obviously, guys don't want true love, they just want good pussy. What do you think, John? I don't know. Don't be that way. You dream of a girl confessing to you under that tree, don't you? Absolutely not. Yeah, like that crazy stalker chick. It'd make your heart go all flutter if she confessed, wouldn't it? Absolutely not. Probably. The tree is magic, man. I'm telling you, even a sad sack like you could get lucky if you confessed there. Don't be stupid. It's just a tree. Whoa, somebody's got their panties in a twist. I'm telling you, everyone goes there. It's only because people like you keep telling these stories. There's something magic about the tree. People just believe it's special because everybody else says it is. Girls think that the tree is romantic, so of course they'll be more likely to agree there. and guys would have to turn someone down in front of an audience. That's all. True. My man's spitting facts. Shit, man, what is wrong with you today? I'm spitting facts, bro. What do you want? With an attitude like that, you're never gonna get a girl. I don't want one. I want to stay a virgin. You insulted the tree. It'll cock block you now. Ha ha ha. I agree, Lizzy. ... That day, John couldn't get to his therapy appointment fast enough. Miss Smith smiled at him and when he came in, but immediately saw he was unhappy. Are you okay, John? Perhaps you should be on stronger formulation. Stop! Look, all my problems can't be solved with drugs, okay? I just had a bad day. Well, our session should make you feel better. Lie down and get comfortable. Miss Smith, does Paxitine have any visual side effects? I should hope not. Koitek has the highest of standards for every drug it puts out, and Paxitine is nearing its final clinical trials. Are you having any vision problems? John lays back and stared out the window. Was he really seeing differently, or was it all in his head? He stared a long time before he opened his mouth and just started talking. Everything just feels so gray. You are having vision problems. Not literally gray. Well, also literally gray. It's just sky today. When I was younger, I always thought the clouds were beautiful. Now it's like there's just nothing there. Nothing that matters. I look up and I just don't care. That sounds more likely to be a mental issue then. Why don't you get more relaxed and talk about it? Taking a deep breath, John did his best, as usual, after talking with Mrs. Smith for long enough. He felt not better, necessarily, but at least not miserable. The session went by in a flash, and he had to head home. He shuffled through his routine easily enough, slept fitfully, and then returned to school, barely more rested. But when he arrived, he found a huge crowd standing and staring. What's going on? You know that tree the students like to confess under? The words made John shiver enough, though he wasn't entirely sure why. He shifted to look through the crowd, and then he saw it. The bitch burned the tree! Get fucked! Have you tried acid? Yeah, maybe she shouldn't be prescribing Paxitine. Maybe she should just prescribe some shrooms and tabs of acid. Here you go, John. Open up. His pupils just like get huge. He's like, oh my god, I can see colors again. Parts of the tree were still burning, but the rest was char, and ashes coated the ground near it. His throat was dry, as if all the ashes were filling it. What happened? The cops are coming to check it out, but the shop teacher said it looked like arson. Someone covered the tree in gasoline and burned it down. See, this is why we need cameras. I've been telling the principal for years, but does he listen to me? No one thinks. The words slid off his mind, and John turned away without even saying goodbye. Not entirely sure what he was doing, he stumbled straight to his locker. When he opened up his locker, he discovered a folded note set in the exact center, like always. He stared at it for a long moment before unfolding it with trembling hands. I didn't like that tree either. Angry face with the eyebrows going in the V formation thing. He stared at the words like they were a foreign language, wishing he could avoid understanding the conclusion. I didn't like that tree either. Bro, why isn't he thinking about the angry face? Why isn't he thinking the grrr? It was her. It had to be. None of his friends would be that insane. And what would be the point of a prank like that? But what was the point for her? What did she think she'd accomplish? Did he tell someone? But this wasn't exactly evidence. And did he really want to get her in that much trouble? John decided he was being stupid like usual. He just needed to talk to her and find out exactly what was going on. Put an end to this. No, that is a bad idea. She's gonna kidnap you. Not even burn. Yeah, dude, there should have been like char fingerprints on there or some like bullshit, or his lockers just smelled like gasoline. And it just explodes because I glared at her angry. Like, boom. That day, whenever he was in the hallways, he could feel her eyes on him. With every passing moment, he became more sure that she had burned that tree down. He wondered if a normal person would be afraid now, but for him, it barely penetrated his numbness. He wanted to find out what he was doing wrong and put an end to it. It took until after school for him to find his chance. When the teachers handed out the assignments, he volunteered to clean the roof. I'm not used to reading novels that have good punctuation and grammar, so this is kind of refreshing. John stepped onto the roof and headed to the far side. After a few seconds, he heard the door open again. He ignored it and instead climbed up the tank. To the tank. The upper area was meant to be blocked off, but the janitors had stopped putting the ladder down years ago. He turned and, to his shock, she was already coming up the ladder behind him. Reaching to the top, she held her hands close to his chest and shuffled her feet. What is she doing? What the fuck? She's like trying to grab my titties, bro. But there was a spark in her eyes. Hello, Lizzy. Are you never going to greet me? Hello. Oh god, she's gonna push me off the roof, dude. She's gonna push me off the roof. I said it. I said it. Why are you following me? Because I like... Did this girl really have burned down a tree? It seemed like she had it in her. Were you the one leaving notes in my locker? Yes. How did you know my combination? I watched you. Why? Did you try to tell Mrs. Smith? Don't you like me? No. Go away. I don't like her. She's always talking to you. She's awful. She doesn't deserve you. That's not the face you should be making there. That's like the I need to poop face. That's not the like I'm angry face. John realized that he was in way over his head, yet his mouth was still moving, asking the inevitable question. Why did you burn it down? Because it was a stupid tree. There we go. That's the angry face I'm looking for. You're so smart. You said it just right. It was awful and stupid and I hate it and I hate it and I hate it and I hate it and I hate it. It's all because of you, John. I could never do what needed to be done before. Now I can. She wasn't stable. She wasn't even close. What had he gotten himself into? I finally found you. You're the only one for me. Back away, Turbo Virgin. Part of him knew that he had to do something. Run away, call for help, yet why? Huh? Why do you care about me? How could you ask that? You're the best person. The only person. No, there's like 7.2 billion other people on this planet. I'm not the only one here. Bullshit. I'm just another high school boy. No, not even that. I'm worthless. She just got thicker. What the fuck? No, 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 no. Don't say that. It's not true. It's not. I'm broken. My brain doesn't work right. And even the strongest drugs don't make a difference. No, that's not true. John is perfect. Perfect. How can you say these things? The way her words flowed together, addressing him directly one moment, then in third person the next, bothered him almost as much as the look in her eyes. Bro, she looks like she just saw a ghost. Whatever her issue was, it went deep. You're not well, Lizzy. You need help. You said my name. I said it like 3 times to you already at this point. Like, what do you mean? But I can't help you. I'm not worth anything to anybody. Just forget about me and find someone else to care about. No, no, I could never. You're the only person who matters. But why? Yeah, good question. You don't even know me. You don't even care about me. I'm just part of your problem. No. It'd be better if I was gone. Maybe you'd get better then. It's not true. It's not. I love you, John. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. You're dead now anyways. Time to stay a virgin and stand on principle. True. We're standing our ground. I've watched you. Always. You're so good and kind and perfect, and even to a girl like me. 'Cause I said hello? He could barely even listen to her words. John found himself wandering closer and closer to the side of the building as she followed him automatically. Look, I'm trying to keep my personal bubble over here. And you're just getting closer and closer, bro. I can smell your breath. It's weird. You're so sad, but you're still kind. I don't know how. You should be broken like me. I am. But I can't help you. You want to help yourself. You need to forget about me and get real help. No, don't say that. You're confused. Yeah, confused. Poor John is so depressed he's not thinking straight. He doesn't understand how much I love him. Ah, there it is. There's the knife. He needs my help. The world froze for a moment as the knife glinted, and all he could do was stare at its edge. You need someone to take care of you. I'll stop everyone who says unkind things about you. No, no, don't go stabbing my friends. I love you. Like, I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. No, no. I should just take you home and keep you safe there. Yes. You just need some help. No, you need help. She's literally saying I need to kidnap you. Where the hell has she gotten that knife? Yeah, where was she storing the knife? Good question. Would she actually use it on him? A second later, John realized that was a foolish thought. This girl had burned down a tree because he said it was stupid. He had no idea if there were any limits on what she might do. And would that really matter? He'd spent nights lying in bed, wishing he had never been born. Wishing he had a way to end it all. Bro, you'd be doing me a favor, bitch. Just like, bring it. You can't threaten me. John, get away from the edge. It's not safe. He took several steps to the edge before she could stop him, and he turned around to face her. The back end of his shoes hung off the edge of the building, nothing between him and a fatal fall. My life matters so much to you? Stop toying around with me. No, you don't understand. You care about me? Well, I'm gonna kill myself. He just yeets himself off the fucking roof. No, you don't understand. What do you even want? To stab me until I'm yours forever? Is that it? That's usually the consensus. Never. John is so good and kind. I would never need to stab him. Please come away. I'll take good care of you. You can't. Maybe you have good intentions, but you need help. And unless you get it, you can only hurt me. I will. Whatever you want, I promise. Just don't hurt yourself. Bro, if I had the option to eat off this roof, I'm doing it. It was a lie, of course. She was just saying whatever it took to get him to step away from the edge, and he knew it. It was exactly like how he'd imagined it would go. He'd stand on the edge and everyone would say all kinds of lies about how much he mattered to them, because they'd care for the first time. Not about him, but about the idea of him. But the look in her eyes, that couldn't be faked. It might be a twisted love, but she loved him utterly. No, don't fucking fall for it. She needed help too. Maybe he could be the one to help her, assuming she didn't stab him. But what the hell was he living for anyways? Lizzy, would you make a promise with me? A promise? I'll step away, I'll talk to you, or let you leave notes in my locker, or whatever it is you want. But you have to listen to me and get some help. Can you do that? No, you bitch. Promise? You promise you won't leave me if I say yes? I won't leave you, Lizzy. Forever? The answer stuck in his throat and he hesitated, wondering if he wasn't making a mistake and saying too much. You definitely are. 110% you are. But in the end, he swallowed and nodded. Forever. Oh, you bitch. Now, set the knife down and I'll... Whoops! Bro, he just fell off, didn't he? He started to step away. John lost his balance and fell backwards. Suddenly, he was in free fall. Nothing between him and cold pavement. Oh god, that is a scary face. She just gets thicker again to try to coax you off the roof. That is such a cursed sentence. Impossibly, she held him up. Oh no, she got crazy woman strength. Her body was thin, yet somehow she'd stopped his fall and held him up with one hand. Her eyes held a mixture of unstable fear and twisted desire. Well, that is one way to describe that. In that moment, he knew with absolute certainty that if he had fallen, she would have thrown herself off after him. You can't die, John. You're the only one. Oh, God. Oh. God, that gives me shivers, dude. With the same incredible strength, she pulled him back up to the rooftop. Fortunately, she had left the knife behind when she lunged to catch him. But he was still anxious being so close to her. John, you almost died. John, I love you. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Oh god. I'm uncomfortable. It was clear she was completely unstable. Yes, it is clear. But was she actually dangerous? Yes! She seemed to care about him more than anything. Or was he just so pathetic that he'd latch onto anyone who showed him the slightest sign of affection? Probably. Worthless. You'll keep your promise, right? Of course. Then tomorrow we'll go talk to someone, see if we can get you some medication. Is that okay? If it's what John wants, then of course it's okay. Good. Then perhaps. But I want more than that. Oh god. She's changing the contract! She's changing. Yeet! Yeet yourself! Go! Jump! I love. Oh god, no. Don't thicken. I love you, John. I've told you over and over. Don't you love me too? No! At least she was asking without the knife in her hand, but was there a good answer to that question? No. He had to think about it logically. She wanted him to give a yes, but that might just make things worse. The risk of saying no couldn't be ignored either. So. Ooh! Ooh! Let her down gently! Yeah! Lizzy, I don't know you very well yet. Do you really want me to say these words carelessly? Ah, no, of course you're right. Ooh, smooth. Bro, he got out of that one smoothly. I'm stupid, so stupid. You could never love someone like me, true. I didn't say that. Oh. I want to just get to know you better, really. Ah, yes. We should get to know each other very well. Oh, ooh, don't say it like that. Ooh. Nope. John desperately hoped that wasn't a mistake. He hoped this wasn't all a mistake. It is. But he hadn't been stabbed yet. And after how today had gone, that was good enough for him. Then, I'll see you later, okay? I'll be watching you. But yes, later. Ooh. Not gonna do anything crazy? No, John didn't reject me. That's all that matters. So you're saying if I had rejected you, things would be different. We both need to get to class, but we'll talk tomorrow, okay? Okay. The rest of the day was even more of a blur than usual. Everyone's voices not even echoing in his head. John could hardly believe what he had just done. Me neither, dude. You sold out. It all seemed like a dream now. Had Lizzy really pulled a knife on him? Had he really threatened to jump off the school building? It had made him wonder if he wasn't the insane one. No, you definitely are. But no. It had really happened. For better or for worse, he was stuck in this situation. You're making it sound like marriage without a prenup. Only when he was headed to bed did John realize that he had felt strangely alive. Even better than after his therapy sessions. Bro, does he get off on... Is crazy his kink? Maybe it was the brush with death. Maybe he was just having something to think about other than his pathetic existence. But he felt almost good. Maybe that meant he was crazy too, but right now, he was just glad to sleep soundly. You have a bleak outlook on me. I have a realistic one? In the morning, it all seemed even more unbelievable. John sleptwalked through his routine, half certain that he would find out it had all been a dream. Ah, instant thickness. Like a pancake mix up in this bitch. When he had arrived at school, he found Lizzy waiting for him by the school entrance. She looked like she could have been waiting there the entire night. When she saw him, though, her face lit up. John, you're finally here. I've been waiting for so long. Good morning? Yes, it's a wonderful morning. I spent so long too nervous to talk to you, afraid that you would hate me. We had such a nice talk. Now I'm barely nervous at all. Is that good or bad? But my heart, it still goes crazy every time I get near you, John. Isn't it horrible that we have to be in different classes? We should be together. Nope. You know, bitch, I need my space. Everybody needs their space. Okay? Will you eat lunch with me today? Please, won't you? I mean, honestly, that's probably better than those asshole friends that he hangs out with, so I'm... She could sound so adorable. Normally he'd be happy to have a girl like her asking to eat lunch together, but... Sure. On the roof again? No. There might be unkind people there. And you might feel sad again. Don't look at me crazy when you're saying that. I have the perfect place. Where is it? It's a secret. I'll show you at lunchtime. That doesn't sound very good. He really wasn't sure how to feel about that. Me neither. For once, John had something to look forward to. Or dread. He wasn't sure. The minutes seemed to crawl by until it was finally lunchtime. When he went looking for Lizzy, he discovered that she was waiting for him, waiting behind him, completely silent, watching him. Oh, God, that is creepy. Hi, Lizzy. Let's go. We don't need to go to the cafeteria. This way. Did you make me lunch? That's so nice. She practically dragged him away from school and onto one of the paths in the nearby forest. Soon they got far enough away that they couldn't hear any of the sounds from the school. Here is perfect, just perfect. Lizzy faced away from him, giving a soft little laugh. Then suddenly she whirled around, thrusting something towards him. A knife! Oh, a lunchbox. I worked really hard on this. You have to eat it. You have to. Okay. Thanks, Lizzy. Is she pregnant? No. They just met. I hope not. They haven't even held hands yet. She couldn't be pregnant. She gave a little squeal and promptly sat down on a small rock. It seemed she had a second lunchbox of her own, but she kept it on her lap until he opened up his. John was braced for a horror show, but to his surprise, it was normal food. It actually looked pretty good. Is he gonna show it? He took a bite, and it tasted good, too. John realized that Lizzy was staring at him intensely, as if her life was on the line, so she smiled at her. It's really good. It's charred bark from the confession tree? Dude, imagine. I cooked these wieners on the despair of the entire school, and I burnt down the tree. Isn't that romantic? Say it's romantic! Just like, oh! Yay, I worked so hard on it. So, did you want to eat together, or... Why won't you accept my love? Whoa, okay. Tell me how you really feel. Why, John? Why? That's, a really intense line of conversation. Can we just chat? Okay, tell me things. I want to know everything about you. I feel like you already know everything about me. Considering you've been stalking me for I don't even know how long. Well, I'm nothing special. That's not true! Let me see what to say. Despite himself, John found it easy to talk to her. He was sure she was sounding like an idiot, rambling on about stupid mundane topics, yet she listened to every word with rapt attention. It was bizarre to have someone actually care about his life. His father never had time. His friends were busy with their own things. Miss Smith was just listening professionally. But Lizzy actually cared. He knew that she wasn't well, that her obsession was probably a sickness, yet a pathetic part of him didn't care. He was just happy to have someone paying attention to him. That's sad. Only after talking to him for a long time did he realize that he was talking about himself like a self-centered jerk. He didn't seem to mind, but he still felt guilty. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I can do that sometimes. Don't apologize. I like listening to you talk. Ooh-woo. For at least a couple of slides, true. It's been pretty boring, though. I mean, you already know a lot about me. I want to know everything about you. I've been watching you for a long time. I know all the facts, but I still don't know everything. Alright, let me measure my dick real quick and I'll get back to you. I can't see inside your head. That's where the important parts of John are. But I can't see them. You're not gonna, like, cut my brain out to get a look inside my head or something, like, twisted like that, are you? I wish there was a way to crack your head open. Oh, no, I was kidding. See all the thoughts inside. John swallowed uncomfortably, remembering the knife that she brandished towards him not too long ago. You can always just ask me what I'm thinking, okay? Okay, you're so nice. Stop calling me nice. So, Lizzy, tell me about yourself. Well, there's nothing to tell. I'm not important. I just want to listen to you more. Oh no. Bad sign, bad sign, bad sign. Stay single, boys, stay single. Yes, but if I want to know more about you, don't you want to tell me? John is so kind, I don't deserve him. Probably true. So, what about your parents? I live alone now. Neither of my parents wanted me anyways. Did you kill them? I'm sure that's not true. They probably just... You don't have to make me feel better. I don't mind. You don't mind that your parents? My father never loved me anyways. And my mother's dead now. Huh. Did you? My parents separated too. They never made it formal, but yeah, they're separated. Mom doesn't like to visit and Dad is always at work, so it's like he's not really there. You mean they just leave you alone? How horrible. How dare they just leave you like that? No, don't kill my parents. Don't kill my parents. Clubs. Are you in any after-school clubs? Bro, every time she starts just like teetering off the edge, she's like, subject change? Okay. My penis is ridiculously tanner than the rest of my body. How about yours? When he wasn't pulling the conversation away from troubling topics, John actually found himself enjoying their talk. Or maybe he was just happy to be talking to someone and actually managing to pay attention to the conversation. Probably that. He finished every bite of his lunch without thinking about it, given the way she stared at the last crumbs while he finished them. That was probably a good thing. Too late it occurred to him that she might have tampered with the lunch. Yet, as she stared at him, so pleased that he had enjoyed it, John couldn't believe that she would do anything bad to him. As soon as he had that thought, he remembered the tree and shivered involuntarily. Ugh, she's gonna burn me. After school, John had barely gotten out of the door when he spotted Lizzy following him. It seemed as though she was stalking him at first, but when he made eye contact, she gave him a sweet smile and skipped forward. John, let's walk home together. Do we live in the same direction? No, but don't worry, I'll walk back to my house later. Isn't the man supposed to walk the girl home first? Which meant she did know where you lived. He really needed to be more cautious. Maybe we could do something else. You remember our promise? Yes. Getting medicine and therapy has really helped me a lot. I hope it'll help you too. Now, I think the easiest thing to do would be to take you to Mrs. Smith. She could— No, I hate her. She's awful and wants to take you away from me. What? Where in the world did you get that census? Wait a second now, that's not true. She just wanted to help. John is too nice. He can't see what kind of a person she is. I have to protect him. Whoa, Lizzy, wait, calm down. If you don't want to talk to Mrs. Smith, we can go do something else, alright? Okay. So, probably best not to choose a woman. There had to be male koi tech pharmacists in town. Maybe one of them could prescribe something. But he really wasn't sure how that worked. He had been counting on Miss Smith to guide the process, but now he'd have to figure it out himself. Lizzy, I need to do a little research first. Is that okay? Okay, I'll follow you. Maybe it'd be easier if I did it myself. No, I don't like that idea. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? You can bring another lunch. Okay, see you tomorrow, John. Bro, she goes from like, no, don't leave me, to, okay, bye! Like, bro. He hoped that medication would help her stabilize. After all, she'd be cute if— No, get that thought out of your head, nope. Why exactly was he doing this? He had told himself it was to help her and make sure no one got hurt, but now he was hoping she'd become normal and stay with him. Oh no! Bro, come on, man. He's thinking with the wrong head. Your finest cyanide. Yeah, knock her ass out, fucking like run. Pathetic. He couldn't get a girlfriend normally, so he had to take advantage of some poor girl's obsession. Oh my god, dude. Now it didn't matter. She really did need help. And he might be able to get to her now. He might be able to get it to her. Get her to it. Bleh. It was just a question of how. The best way was probably to ask for advice, either from Miss Smith or a pharmacist. He could try to research some himself, though he doubted he'd be any good at it, and he supposed it wouldn't hurt to ask her if she was taking anything else or had allergies to something. Damn it. He should have done that earlier. Now it was too late to— No, she's still right there. Still fucking following you. You could fucking ask. John realized that she was still following him. He shouldn't have been surprised. Okay, so asking her was still an option, but he only had so much time before he had to go get home and do his schoolwork, so he needed to choose carefully. Bro, I feel like just going to Mrs. Smith is the option here. Just to be like, yo, Miss Smith, I have a bitch who has issues, but she doesn't want to talk to you. Do you know, guy? Like, that's what you gotta do. Give her some of your medicine? Bro, if that was an option, absolutely. You want Miss Smith to die? Oh, I don't want Miss Smith to die, though. We're doing it anyways. Go to Mrs. Smith. John headed back to school and discovered that Miss Smith was still in her office. She always put in long hours. For a moment, he saw her at her desk before she had seen him. She looked older, more tired, just staring at the papers in front of her as she worked through them. When she spotted him, though, she immediately flashed a smile. Hello, John, did you forget something? No, I was just wondering if you could help me with something. I know a person who seems to need some medical help, but it really would be easiest if they just came to see me. I'm afraid one of the issues is paranoia, I guess. I don't think they'd be willing to do that, but I'd like to help. Well, it's dangerous to diagnose someone indirectly, but if you describe them, I can at least give you some basic advice. John described Lizzy's worrying behavior as best he could without identifying her. He wasn't sure why he was so careful. Maybe because she might come after him with a knife if he said too much. When he finished, Mrs. Smith nodded thoughtfully. It does sound like a serious case. You'd want to get a blood test done in case there's some serious chemical imbalance. I don't think a blood test can... I don't think testing blood will be like, yup, definitely crazy. Like, I don't think it works that way, dude. Do you think there's any drugs that could help? Goitek has a line of very powerful new drugs that could certainly help, but the question is which one would be appropriate. I get a sense that there's a fixation to it. I wish they'd finished developing Arozepam, but I guess it's too early for that. No, I'd suggest one of two choices. Nilazine or Yandequel. I'm gonna go with Yandequel because that's really close to Yandere. So that just makes more sense. A drug to fix Yandere. Never heard of either of those before. They wouldn't be all that appropriate for treating your condition, or most conditions honestly. They're very experimental. Yandequel is a sedative and an antipsychotic, while Nilazine promotes focus and clearer thinking. Yup, Yandequel is the right one to go with. I'm not sure which one would be right. A decision like that should really be made by a medical professional. Are you sure I can't help directly? No, it'll be fine. Thanks, Miss Smith. Stepping out onto the street, John glanced at his watch and decided that he had more time to research his options. Oh, I get more than one option. What if I could go to the pharmacist and just be like, yo bro, hook me up, G. Let's do it. John explored the part of town where he thought he remembered a Goitek pharmacy. It turned out his memory was right. It was staffed by a male pharmacist. The middle-aged man gave him a perfunctory nod and listened patiently enough as John described Lizzy's symptoms without mentioning her directly. I'd recommend Paxitine or Cerazine. Either one could— No, that's not enough. Excuse me, young man. I don't think— I'm on Paxitine. This isn't that simple of a problem. I'm worried she might hurt someone. I see. Is there something you should tell me, young man? No, I just want to help. I just wish someone had made me get some help earlier, and I want to be that person for her. Getting very simpy vibes right now, I'm not gonna lie. If the condition is serious, I do have two suggestions. You'll need a blood test to prescribe either one, though. What do you suggest? Either Nihilazine or Yandequel. Nihilazine is the better if the problem is mental. Yandequel is better if the problem is emotional. It's probably both. Just give her both. Unfortunately, it was probably both. My man. My man. I've heard about those. Guess they must be good if you recommend them too. The problem is going to be convincing her that it's in her best interest to take them. Not many people your age would go to so much trouble for a classmate. You're a good kid. Strangely, the man's words actually made John feel better. Maybe he was doing the right thing with all of this. It was getting late, and John realized he needed to get home quickly if he wanted to have time for his homework. On his way back, he was sure that Lizzy was following him, but he couldn't get a clear look at her. At least it was only one more day until the weekend. Friday passed faster than John had expected. Lizzy was nearby at all times, and they ate lunch together. But things were almost normal. Almost. Just when he started to get comfortable, she would give a giggle that went on a little too long, or slide a hand towards where she hid her knife, or respond far more enthusiastically than she should have. Was it bad of him to think that she was really cute despite all of that? She could be nice if she wasn't so, well. But John hated it when his friend suggested he could be fun if he wasn't depressed, and that thought left an ugly knot in his stomach. Well, it wasn't long now. Maybe she could get some real help. He made it through this last class, almost slept through his sessions with Miss Smith, then headed home. John finished his homework and chores as fast as he could and went to sleep. Going out in public always drained him, and he wanted to have enough energy for the weekend. He woke up too early, his eyes gritty and head still mirrored in half-remembered dreams. John got up to a drink and happened to glance out the window. Lizzy was standing outside his house with a huge smile on her. Oh my god, that is creepy. No! No! That is so fucking weird. After staring at her for a moment, John groaned and went back to bed. It's like, bro, what the fuck? I'm going to bed. Bro. Second time he woke up, the sun had already risen. He felt a little better, but not much. Normally he would stay home all weekend, but he couldn't do that if he wanted to help Lizzy. She was still standing outside his house in exactly the same place with exactly the same cheerful expression. Oh my god, dude. Does she sleep? John brushed his teeth, got dressed, combed his hair. He realized that he was acting like he was getting ready for a date. No, I think that's just stuff you do when you wake up in the morning, bro. It's called self-care. He wondered how intense she'd be if he had accepted her confession. Or was she worse this way? Well, at least he was going to go out with a cute girl. He hadn't done that since middle school, and those were childish relationships. So is this. Actually, I think this is a little different than a childish relationship. I think it's a little more fucked up. Of course, this is the only way he could get a date. Pathetic. Bro, she's dressed like a 30-something fucking housewife. Finishing his preparations, John headed outside. He hadn't noticed from his house, but Lizzy had gotten dressed up for the occasion. He'd never seen her outside of her school uniform, and it made him hesitate for a moment. She'd obviously put effort into making herself look good, and she did. It would have been nice, if not for how it made him worry about the level of importance she was attaching to the day. As soon as Lizzy saw him, her smile became even brighter than it had been while waiting. "John, I'm ready." "Don't say that." "Good morning, Lizzy. Did you sleep alright?" "Oh, I didn't sleep. Let's go." I knew it! I knew she just... Bro, was she sitting outside like that for days? Oh my god. She practically dragged him out down the street, apparently heading for the bus station. Yet instead of looking forward, her gaze was fixed behind her on him. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Again. "Do you have a plan, John? This is our first date. It needs to be perfect. It's not a date. I'm taking you to get drugs." Shit. He should have known she'd treat it this way. It wasn't like he hadn't had enough time. He used to be good at planning. What was wrong with him? Other than the clinical depression. God, he was such a mess. Alright, he had to think. He used to be able to think on his feet. He could do this. So, I want to deal with the medication issue first, so the rest of the day can be fun, alright? Sure, whatever you want. If we get a blood test, we'll need to wait a while. I was thinking we'd get the test first, then eat breakfast, then get the results. That should give us the entire rest of the day. That's such a great plan. Let's hurry. Oh my god. Oh, she just goes along with anything. John was glad to hear her respond so happily, but wondered if she would have said that no matter what he had told her. Yup. They took a bus across town to the furthest pharmacy and ordered a standard Koitek sampling. He'd been nervous that Lizzy might react poorly to the needle, but she just smiled sweetly at him while they took a bit of her blood and then hopped back up. "Look, the Band-Aid has little kittens on it. It's so cute." Oh my god. "You want to eat something now then?" "Yes." "Yeah, I'm sure you haven't eaten if you've just been staring out into my window fucking all creepy like for the last couple of days." They walked to a nearby bakery and bought them a pair of pastries. One of the only advantages of his workaholic father was that he at least had a decent amount of spending money. Lizzy held hers in both hands and began cheerfully nibbling at the end of it. She stared at him while she was doing it, but otherwise she looked... Bro, this has like eating a banana while looking you in the eyes type energy. She looked ordinarily cute instead of scarily cute. "I didn't know you could act silly. Hee hee. I don't hear you laugh very often. You usually look so sad, and that makes me sad too. I wouldn't be able to tell from your constant creepy smile." And like that, his good mood crumpled. I know, I'm always ruining everything. I don't know why anyone stays near me when I just... No! Fucking stop, idiot bitch! Lizzy took his pastry and stuffed it in his mouth to shut him up. "You're not depressing at all, John. Just being around you makes me feel warm inside. Oh god, I want to leave. Can we go back to the roof scene and like I successfully jump off? I just want to see you smile more. When you smile, I feel like maybe everything will be alright." His attempt to talk sounded like pastry made... His attempt to talk around the pastry made Lizzy giggle, which made him laugh, which just set off a vicious cycle. After a fit of coughing, he had almost lost his pastry, but regained his good mood. It had been a long time since an emotional downturn hadn't sent him spiraling towards depression. Lizzy grinned at him and he smiled back at her. All at once, he felt guilty for trying to convince her to take medication. Who is he to tell her what to do? No, do not back off now. Do not back down now, you son of a bitch. Worse, was he manipulating her obsession like this? It was only to help her, but did that make it any better? Yes. The thoughts troubled him, but they remained in the back of his mind as they finished eating, talking lightly. But then they were finished, and it had been a while since the test. It was time to go back. Let's go get the result, okay? Will John think differently about me? No, I just want to find a way to help you, okay? Okay. She answered cheerfully, but something in the lightheartedness that they had shared was gone, and it was coming back. Swallowing, John steeled himself and walked with her to the pharmacy. Lizzy slowed near the entrance, then shuffled backwards. I'll stay here. You can bring me what I need, okay? Okay. No problem. Inside, he found the pharmacist writing something on a clipboard. When he spotted John, he immediately frowned. You're alone? I suppose that's for the best. Anyways, we need to talk. Something wrong? She's not sick, is she? Sick in the head. It isn't that kind of test. It only takes a snapshot of a person's current condition. Is your friend going through a difficult time right now? Well, I mean, maybe a little. There's some extraordinary numbers. Most people only see those briefly, during the worst days of their lives. Take care of her until things pass, alright? Okay. God damn it, another pharmacist is telling me to stay with her. Bro, it just keeps getting worse and worse. There's something else I have to ask. It won't be comfortable, but it's necessary. Have you ever gotten any sense that she might hurt herself or anyone else? No, I can't imagine her doing anything like... What? Bro, you say yes. You... What? Bro, what? Oh my god. Bro, I want to hit him, dude. Oh my god. John's an idiot. The lie was out of his mouth before he'd even consciously decided to lie. John regretted it immediately. Backpedal! Yet, now it was too late to contradict himself. The pharmacist grunted and looked over his papers. Well, keep a close eye on her. Even the gentlest person could be capable of violence under conditions like these. Is it really that bad? I thought she seemed better lately. No. There must be some recent trauma she hasn't told you about. I'm certain of it. How does a blood test tell you about that? I mean, someone with numbers like these regularly, they would be completely incurable. Insane, probably. And definitely a threat to society. Yeah, that describes her pretty well. Bro, the blood test literally came back, yup, crazy. Like, sounds like the little John is doing the talking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply anything. I'm sure she'll work through things and get back to normal soon. So, can you prescribe anything? I can give you 2 weeks of either Yandere or Nihilazine. That should get her over the rough patch. Just 2 weeks? Can't you prescribe more? Not without much more extensive evaluation, but like I said, all you need. I'm sure she'll recover soon. Well, I mean, simple. She takes it for a while, sees if it's better, and then before she like goes back to cuckoo land, you bring her back in and be like, yo, it's working. Can you like give her some more, you know, like bam, bam, bam. Like, I'm not saying to beat her. Beating women is wrong, but like forcing meds down her throat. Like, okay, that doesn't sound much better. I'm gonna just continue. I really should be asking her directly, but in her present condition, I think it'd be safer to bend the rules and let you act like a family member. What a shitty pharmacist. So, which one do you think would be best for her? Bro, we gotta go with the Yandere. 2 weeks of Yandere. Coming up. Gotta help her rest, okay? Yeah, okay. Bro, we got the Yandere, boys. Let's go. Heading outside, John handed the bag to Lizzy. He had pushed pretty hard to get to this point, but he would never ever force her to take the medication. You fucking forced that shit right down her throat, bro. His father had used to talk like he didn't have a choice about depressant medication. Practically threatened to force feed him. John refused to do that to anyone else. But Lizzy didn't make an issue of it at all. Smiling at him, she opened the bag and shook out one of the pills and swallowed it without even taking a drink. She's a professional swallower. She'd given the label a careful look, though. Okay, I hope you love me now. Bro. Lizzy, no, I never meant anything like that. Please don't That didn't taste bad at all. So can we go on with our date now, John? Can we? He wanted to go back to what she had said, reassure her that he meant nothing wrong by it, but his words stuck in his mouth. Maybe on some level he did mean to force her. Maybe he was repeating everything that had been done to him. But Lizzy smiling at him like that, he couldn't fall too far into depression. Instead, John smiled back and gestured her to follow. Without any great ideas, John thought that they should go to the park. Their town had a pretty nice park, and it was usually empty this time of day. His friends always said that a movie was the best first date, but he suspected they most likely wanted to try to cop a feel. Besides, he was worried Lizzy would end up watching him instead of the movie. Valid. In the park, Lizzy happily skipped along the paths, often looking back at him, but at least looking at a lot of other things too. Wow, that's a first. Let's go. As he watched, he realized that she was definitely more stable than usual. She stayed cheerful and sweet, without any of the threats of violence. Could it really be the Yandere? With him, the packs had kind of taken weeks to work, and whether or not it actually helped had been pretty unclear. And again, Lizzy was her own case. Of course, it took more than medication to cure a serious condition. He knew that all too well. As Miss Smith had said, therapy was also an important component of recovery. Hers had certainly helped him a lot. The third main component was a social support network, and there, he completely failed to take her advice. He still spent most of his time alone or in meaningless old relationships. But hey, now he was walking in a park with a girl his age. Maybe things were looking up. And for once in his life, things went his way. Lizzy was happy to eat fast food for lunch and didn't even try to feed him anything. Bro. Eat the burger! Eat the fucking burger! Eat the burger! Afterwards, he was pretty much out of plans, and Lizzy didn't want to stop. Fortunately, she was happy to drag him around town to see random things. In a way, he was grateful for that. He had spent all his energy for making decisions during the morning. It was easy to just glide along in her wake. In that way, she was a good match for him. When the sun started setting, John was actually surprised. Had the day really passed by that quickly? He could barely drag himself through a lot of weekends, but this was a welcome change. Holy shit, is that John? With a girl? Hey guys. Is that crazy chick you told me about? Yeah, that's definitely her. Are you that desperate, John? Oh no, she's gonna spiral. You know how much of a sad sack he's been lately. I'm pretty sure he is. Oh no, she's looking annoyed. Do any of you have girlfriends? Oh. You guys talk so much shit. Just leave Lizzy out of it, okay? Oh, fuck you, John. If she wasn't crazy, you could never get a girl as cute as her. She is pretty hot. I don't get why she's with you. Bro, these guys need to shut the hell up. They're gonna get their asses shanked, bro. Yeah, this really doesn't make any sense. Haha, John, are you gonna cry? Better not, or she'll realize how pathetic you are. Uh-oh. His positive mood was completely gone. He knew he should check to see how Lizzy was taking the mocking, but it was the most he could do not to fall into a mire of self-hatred. As always, he felt like he should be stronger than this, less emotionally fragile, and that just added to his self-hatred. If it had been anyone else, he might have crashed completely, but he knew these guys. He was at least familiar with their attitudes. John pulled himself together and faked a smile at them. Sounds like sour grapes to me. You all have fun with each other, okay? Come on, Lizzy, let's get out of here. They scoffed, but he didn't care. Taking her hand, he walked as fast as he dared out of the alleyway. When they were a safe distance away, he finally glanced at Lizzy and shivered. Her eyes were staring intensely at nothing, and she was gnawing on a knuckle. Bro, there was blood. Was there blood running down their finger? Oh no! Bro, she's eating herself! That's like extreme anger, bro. Oh my god, the Yandere isn't working. The Yandere isn't working. Abruptly, she squeezed his hand, and then swept both of her hands behind her back and smiled at him. That was really sweet of you, John. You're always so nice. Oh god, it's just 180, dude. It's just a 180. Don't let those guys bother you. They say a lot of stuff, but it doesn't mean anything. She's got the crazy eyes again, dude. It went from normal to crazy, just like that. Is your finger okay? It looked like, I'm okay, John, don't worry. Well, should we keep going? Okay. But they hadn't gotten far before John realized that he couldn't follow up on that. He had pulled himself together long enough to walk away, but now he had nothing left. It was all too much. He wasn't usually outside in public this much, and though being with Lizzy wasn't bad, he wasn't stable enough for this much interaction. John, are you okay? I'm tired. I think I need to go home. Is something wrong? Did I do something wrong? No, it was literally the assholes, bro. You're good. He could hear the tremor in her voice. I knew she needed affirmation, but the apathy was choking him to death. He had no energy for anyone else, no energy for anything but getting back home, curling up and wishing he was dead. Somehow he said goodbye, found the bus, and got all the way back home. The events passed like he was suffocating in gauze. The world around him was too unreal to have any effect. Maybe he should have reassured Lizzy, but that didn't matter. He was an idiot for thinking he could help her. Nothing he did mattered. Okay, I gotta get going now, so I'm gonna call this here, since this is like another like little pivotal moment, so I'm gonna leave a save here. We'll pick it back up here later.